You know, there are moments when we recognize that God has been writing our story long before we ever knew there was a story to tell. About 30 years ago, the Miami Valley Presbytery of Ohio entered into a partnership with the Presbytery of the North Coast of Colombia. And at the time, I was simply a child growing up in Barranquilla. I had no idea that this relationship between two presbyteries separated by language, culture, and geography would become one of the primary instruments God would use to shape my life and reveal my calling. Today, I serve as equipping presbyter and state clerk of the Presbytery of Florida, and as a minister of the Word and Sacrament within the Presbyterian Church of the United States. Looking back, I can clearly see that my journey did not begin in a seminary classroom or in a church office. It began with a partnership. It began with people who believe that relationship matter. As a young person with my brother, I started by translating for mission teams and visitors from the United States. I thought I was simply helping people communicate and getting food in return. What I did not realize was that God was using those instruments, those moments to reveal gifts that I did not yet know I possessed. Translation became leadership, leadership became ministry, and ministry became a calling, and here I am. Along the way, I watched lives being transformed, not only my own, but the lives of family, congregations, and communities. I witnessed friendships form that continue decades later. I saw barriers of language and cultural disappear, and sisters and brothers in Christ discover that they belong to one another, despite what the rest of the world would say. I could fill pages with names of pastors, missionaries, elders, volunteers, host families, translators, youth leaders, and faithful servants from both Colombia and the U.S.A. Each one became part of a story much larger than themselves. Each one invested in relationships whose full impact they may never completely know or understand. I celebrate that today a delegation from the Presbytery of the North Coast of Colombia is visiting the Miami Valley Presbytery. My heart truly wishes I could be here, but sadly I am here, right? Likewise, I was unable to travel to Colombia for the partnership celebrations because of my responsibility at the General Assembly and my new call within the Presbytery of Florida. Which made the whole thing impossible. But I was there. By the Spirit of the living God, I was there. Because distance cannot diminish gratitude. So I simply want to say thank you. Thank you, Miami Valley Presbytery. Thank you, Presbiterio de la Costa Norte de Colombia and Barranquilla, which is not the same, right? Barranquilla. Your partnership has produced fruit far beyond what any committee report, mission budget, or annual review could ever measure. You invested in children, in relationships. You strengthen families. You equip leaders. You nurture churches. You witness to the presence of the one that we speak of. And you build friendships that have endured storm and time for decades. And somewhere along the way, without even realizing it, you help raise a little boy from Barranquilla who one day will become a Presbyterian minister of the Word and Sacrament in the Presbyterian Church in the United States. I am one of your fruits. I am one of your stories. I am one of your children. Only the hand of God could sustain a partnership like this for 3 decades. Only God could weave together so many lives, culture, churches, and generations into one beautiful testimony of Christ's love. And as I reflect on this remarkable journey, I also remember those who first welcomed me, encouraged me, challenged me, and believed in something that they saw without me seeing it first. Some are celebrating with you today. Others have already entered into the church triumphant. To every one of them, I offer my deepest gratitude. Their faithfulness continues to bear fruit. So now in this new season of ministry, I realize that I am simply doing what you taught me to do. Every day, I work to strengthen relationships among congregations. I encourage partnerships. I help connect churches. I walk alongside leaders. I try to build bridges whenever God opens a way, a door, a window, a path. In many ways, I am continuing the ministry that you first modeled for me. So beloved Miami Valley Presbytery and beloved Presbyterio de la Costa Norte de Colombia en Barranquilla, thank you. Gracias. Thank you for believing that the partnership mattered enough to sustain it this long. Thank you for investing in people you may never fully know and yet who have benefit from it. Thank you for trusting that God does extraordinary things through ordinary acts of faithfulness. Your work has reached farther than you could have ever imagined. To God alone be the glory. This Reverend Mario Bolivar greets you and loves you and prays for you. I serve today because countless faithful people invested in yesterday. And with great joy, humility, and gratitude, I can simply say, I am one of yours. Partnerships are not about projects. They're about people. Sometimes the greatest fruit of a partnership is a life you never imagined you were shaping. Thank you for shaping mine. Thank you for what you gave me. Thank you. Gracias. Y para Dios sea toda la gloria. I love you.